Why hello there, fellow dogfighters. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts, Fire in the Hold. Episode 43, Trial and Error, and a Swift Burn. So now, as you can see above my head, the current priority is to continue dogfighting, and I have 8 rounds each, or 16 total for the coil guns, and then 25 for the railguns. To put it simply and bluntly, it's probably not enough. And then I still have some decoys. I have 2 or 4 total, but 2 each in each decoy launcher. So that is what I'm working with, for better or for worse. What I have found to work real well, because I can't do like moving slide rule gunnery table stuff in my head at, you know, up to the second or whatever, is to kill all my cross velocity between me and the target, and then to open fire. And I'm going to continue with that policy because it's like honestly the easiest to do. So I am ramping up my maneuver drive, my throttle max, to remove all of the cross velocity between me and the smaller gunship, which only has a PDCS left on it. But a PDCS can still be used to fire on me. And then I'm going to zero the bearing and start opening fire with the railguns. So the railguns are on 2, and the coil guns are on 1. And I'm going to open fire with the railguns and railguns only. Them's my plan. So now that I've finally adjusted my cross velocity to basically 0, I'm going to finally adjust my bearing to 0. And then, boom, launch. And then what I want to do is tracking mode to target to see if it lands. And if it does, I'll just keep firing. It was a miss. I'm going to do 0.5 degree bearing over to adjust for that miss. A 0.5 degree. And it was a hit. Alright, I have track warn. Track warn usually indicates that missiles are about to be fired. Yes, okay. I am not... So this ship here doesn't have missiles, so I'm a little confused as to what's... Oh, yeah, okay. Alright, the other gunship is finally launching their actual ordnances. Alright, so, I don't know when the opportunistic time is to launch my decoys, but I'm going to launch 1 decoy now, and then 1 decoy much later once it's closer, because I don't want to get splashed by those big guns. So at the very least, if I could knock out this smaller gunship, I'd consider it a success in this campaign, and they no longer have weapons. They have thrusters and crew, no weapons. So, that much is done. At this point, what I'm going to do is kind of a radical solution. I'm going to safety... my safety override is already engaged. I'm going to turn and burn. So, I think what's going on right now is they're launching a whole bunch of, like, mass driver-y stuff at me. Oh, it splashed. Okay. My decoys did nothing. I guess I have to fire the decoys sooner? I'm not 100%... Like, obviously, I'm not that certain as to, like, when the... Like, there's nothing on the wikis. It's all trial and error, and clearly my decoys did squat there. Here's the thing. I'm not so much locked into this situation. I can leave at any time I want. Right? I don't think there's anything really stopping me from turning and hitting the gas and leaving. I just want to see if it's winnable. Because it's engaging, it's interesting, it's kind of like a simulated combat, and then if I win, I play it out like I'm, you know, a certain wizard doctor. So we'll see. Will decoys help in this scenario? So what they hit me with was most assuredly a missile, so it should, and I don't know why it didn't. Maybe it was when I fired it out too far, and I needed to wait. And it's one of those, like, when is it best? Like, how soon until it splashes? Like, is it 20 seconds out, 10 seconds out, 5 seconds out, immediately? I don't really know. It's kind of a trial and error that I'm in. And yeah, that was catastrophic, but due to the way I built my ship, it didn't kill me. So if I was willing to just like go Iron Man, it would be entirely possible at that point to surprisingly just ferry back to Calico Station. I just don't have the bank funds to do something like that, obviously, which is why I saved Scum. But, you know, at this point, I don't care about whether that's my solution or not. Like, it doesn't bother me that I have to save Scum. I think it's pretty obvious that if I wanted to avoid this fight entirely, I easily could. So it wasn't like I'm save scumming out of like a guaranteed like loss type situation. I'm save scumming because I'm trying to keep it interesting for you all. So now that we've reviewed that a bearing 0.05 fire is pretty good against the smaller of the two gunships, I'm going to continue that. And with any luck, I'll be able to answer the question sooner or later on what the ideal time to release decoys will be. So this gunship that I'm firing on here is trying to adjust for being shot at. They are accelerating, and I'm trying to match their cross velocity so that they can't escape me. But it's hard because it's a variable speed here. So I'm going to slow down time so that I can actually hit them. It's interesting that they're like behaving very, very, very differently this time around than last time. Oh my god, it's so hard to hold down strafing for cross... No. I'm trying to fix cross... They're really going to like full dodge mode or something. It's going to be very challenging to hit them because they are... they're sort of serpentining, for lack of a better term. Where the cross velocity keeps changing, where they're like strafing back and forth. There we go. I just fired at a 0 cross velocity bearing 0.08. I don't think this will hit though, because they are under constant change of velocity. They're a moving target. I mean, they're always a moving target, but they're like actively moving against the grain here. If you're wondering, I am strafing to one side at like 1.14 Gs. Like that's, I'm trying to keep them centered up, and they're moving that hard against me, trying to keep them centered in my crosshairs. So I'm getting track warnings now. We know what this means. It means that the other ship is obviously firing its missiles at me, and I'm going to wait longer this time until the missiles are closer for me to decoy. I'd like to have some sort of definitive answer as to what the optimal range for decoys are. I've used them successfully in the past, but that was only sort of like anecdotal. All right. So here's a shot. Yeah, I know, track warning. So here comes the missiles. And then I released some shots that I think will splash this ship pretty good, because their cross velocity isn't constantly variable, and I have them like in lock here. So we'll see. There are point defense cannons that I have not yet installed, and that they're not on my ship for economic reasons. I haven't been able to afford them. I have them unlocked. I basically have everything unlocked. So as I said, my adjusted shots on the H0QU worked. I hit it. And at the moment, what they're doing, interestingly, is they're accelerating straight at me. As you can see, the relative velocity is increasing, so they're basically gunning it to me for whatever reason. I don't know why. I honestly should be in like orange or red now. So they're gunning it to me, probably to try to get me within their point defense range. And I am going to launch my first set of decoys now. So we have 76767 and 64225 being launched out now. And then I'll launch another one once the missiles get a little bit closer and see which of the two sets of decoys were, you know, kept me safe. But I'm nearly out of mass drivers. So, yeah, these missiles are obviously tracking. I think what happened is if we take a look at the other gunship, its missiles go out and eject from the ship, and then heat lock me and start focusing towards me. Now there is this other missile here, this 65008, which doesn't seem to be decoyed. So what I'm doing right now is I'm launching a second set of decoys to see if I can't decoy this one off of course. Because it is ETA 7 seconds for me. And there's like nothing I'm gonna oh. Did I lose my antenna? No? Is this bugged? Are you kidding? No? I don't know why my screen just went black there. Okay, the gunship that I've been firing on is disabled, and in fact, they're mooning me now and trying to probably get away, given that their cross velocity is changing. Oops, I didn't mean to open that. But what I will say is it seems like my decoys worked pretty well, as all of the missiles are way off course. They are not going to hit me even a little bit. Now, if I can hit this ship, I don't know where its thrusters are. I think its thrusters are like mid-mass. So it's, I don't really have a good shot on that section of this ship. But I've definitely more or less defanged the H0QU, as they no longer have working guns. No PDCs, no coils. They are they're just a lifeboat mode. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to cripple them, because it might be in my benefit, given that I only have 28 shots left or whatever, that it might be in my best interest to cut my losses and run, because I can just buy more ordnances to bring back to this fight. I can come right back here. I've made a lot of money from all the mining runs I did. Oh, let me fix bearing. I'm having to hit so many keys at once to, like, do this. Reminds me of Kerbal or something. Because I have to, like, adjust bearing and cross velocity. It would be way easier if I had some sort of, like, joystick. But I'm on a keyboard and mouse, so it kind of low-key sucks for stuff like this. Alright. They still have 5 thrusters. I think I'm going to make the executive decision to try to cripple the H0QU and then return to base. So I'm going to fire my coil guns as well. I'm also really wondering why this ship has just like stood down. Like they haven't moved an inch towards me to try to help the Calico ship, the Galfed ship. So we'll see if the coil shots land as well, and I'm going to try to keep this ship centered on me. But now, my relative velocity to it is slowing down, interestingly. It's like matching my speed, which is a weird thing for it to do. Oh, now it's trying to strafe the other way. They did just lose some thrusters, though, in the last volley. God, they keep wiggling. They keep just, like, strafing back and forth. So here, the rails hit, but do the coils hit? One of the coils hit too. And then there's a second volley of rails, and it also hit. But I'm down to almost no bullets, which is why I can't see this fight all the way through, I don't think. Blue Panther, thank you for the resub, and Dom, and Jabby for the cheers, and Dead Dodo for the resub. Drinks on all of ya. Yeah, I am pelting this poor bugger. They're getting annihilated. All right, let me adjust. They're really strafing hard. They're pulling almost 1G of maneuvering for me to match them. That's the struggle here, is I'm like trying to match their strafing maneuvers. So those coils just, they thread the needle between them, and the rail missed. Got it. Interesting, I'm getting a comms request? Alright. Someone wants to talk to me. Could you stop pulling like half a G or more worth of maneuvering? Good lord. Alright, I have just a few more shots left, so let's take it and go. Yeah, if you're wondering if we're stationary, you can see my accelerometer up there, how it's like constantly in flux to try to hit a moving target. But I think I need to lead it more like a 0.2 bearing. But these, I mean, I don't have very many shots left. Oh, they stopped cross velocity. I can now hone in on their location. They're no longer actively moving. So here we go. I have one shot left now. Taking it now. And let's see how the last volley goes. So, rails splashed. Coils are coming in, and then I have one more rail after that. I wonder how my faction rep is right now. Ceres probably hates my guts. So one of the two coils hit, and the rails hit. Yeah, that ship looks super messed up. So I'm out of weapons or ordnances entirely. And yeah, I'm not gonna fall on my sword. I'll be back. So, chat, if you could remember H0QU, or actually, you know what? I can do one better. No, tracking mode. Oh, hold on. All right, so notes. Really? I can't. Do I have too much? I think it filled up. Like it hit its character max or something. All right. Is that a C? No. O H0QU mostly disabled. And then O0 rather, not O. It should be zeros. 58S partially disabled. Okie dokie. So I wrote them down. I can try to return to the battle at some point to clean up the mess I made. I don't know what the GWN is going to do in my absence, but, you know, that's up to him, not me. He decided to, like, not help at all. It's too bad that the gunship's still back there. I think it's hypothetically possible to, like, stick around, lurk around to see what ends up happening with the one I mostly disabled, to see if I can board them, because that would be ultimately what I'd be interested in doing. To see if the GWN takes out the 58S. And then for me to, like, kill the remaining 3 crew and then loot the H0. But I'm not going to be in a gunfight with no guns. That's ludicrous. So I'm going to bounce on out of here. Plus, I need to re-up my decoys. Do I have currently enough to buy more ship rounds? Oh, yes. I have a ship full of valuable mining bounty. And in fact, it wouldn't be ridiculous for me to try to make a little bit more money mining. You know what? Let's thumb our nose at them badly. I'm gonna go mining. One thing I have not been using, much to my detriment, for no good reason. Just, I'm not going to make excuses. I should have been doing this whole time. But much to my detriment is visors. Visors will tell you where, like, the good nodes are, and I've been mining blind for no reason. I don't know why it didn't occur to me to use my visor mode, like my price overlay, to try to find good minerals. I'm an idiot, is all I can say. Because, yeah, like, obviously I should have been doing that. So, I am on a intercept course with a new asteroid that I have not yet mined. That should be sort of in the patrol sector of the GWN. So if these enemies come for me, I ought to have support from the GWN, I guess is what I'm saying. Not that I, like, trust them or anything. So I'm going to face bearing 180 and prepare for a retrograde burn. If I could get one... Well, alright. Slow down time. Trying to make fine-tuned adjustments on 16x speed is challenging. The GWN is obviously on some sort of intercept course. And as is the other gunship. It's actually turning. I don't know what it's doing. The other gunship is now like spinning around and stuff. And then we have this one. This is also a Galfed ship. The 25D. So I'm going to mark that as friendly. I don't know what these two ships are doing. Are you going to leave me hanging to dry, GWN? Like, I low-key don't believe that you are coming to help. Well, gee, what the hell? Well, it's a cargo ship. I think we just witnessed the God particle. What the hell was that? Frickin' ridiculous is what that was. Doing 40 kilometers a second through an asteroid belt? What are you, the aluminum falcon? Like, what the hell is that? Nut job. I'm going to lower my relative velocity below 50, and then once we're within 2.5 kilometers, I can tether. Oh, there goes the GWN. Oh, interesting, interesting. So at the moment, it looks like the bigger gunship is kind of standing down, and then I don't know what this guy is doing. He's doing something stupid. That's all I can say. I'm getting track warned. Well, there's a track warning here, but it's not for me. Oh, it's the... These two are... I don't know what's going on, man. I forget it. I don't know. What I'm going to try to do, which is probably a bad idea, is I'm going to try to force... Oh, they're launching missiles at me. I didn't know he had more. Alright. New thing is... Yeah, alright, this is gonna splash me. I gained another story. Yeah, like... my entire left wing of my ship's gone. I probably have other autosaves that are more recent. But it indicates to me that they obviously have more ordinances. They didn't launch everything they had. What are you even hitting me with? Because that last shot was like, oops. These aren't missiles. These are coils. This has the hallmark attack pattern of a coil. So, sorry to do this yet again. And obviously what I need to do is turn and burn. I need to run. That has now been established. That gunship is just gonna... I don't know what the GWN like wussed out about. But obviously that gunship is not gonna leave me alone. So I'm just gonna go back to base, sell my stuff, make some script, and get some more ordinances, because it's not fun to be in a gunfight with no bullets. Kind of annoying. I am sort of curious if had I been able to tether to the asteroid in time, would I have been a valid target? I don't know the answer to that. I know that that's somewhat of a valid way to avoid being boarded by a pirate, which is just to have a ship tethered to you at all times, because it's like, pirates can't bother me if there's no docking port. Which is funny, but like that's not true anymore because now they're ship-to-ship weapons and they'll like extort you through the radio of like, pay me big money or I blow you up. So that old tactic doesn't really work in the Ceres asteroid belt. But we'll see how this one turns out. I learned my lesson. I'm not going to make the same mistakes over and over. Don't you worry. So we'll get away from the... it's too bad we're not going to be able to board the H0. The one that we disabled, but I want to get away from the other one because the other one is obviously... Oh, it's loading here? That's worthless. if it hits me with a rail... Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to point myself to... Because I don't know what the damage is, and it might be pretty superficial. Because what's happening here is the 58S is, like, firing at me with coil guns, and not missiles. That was obviously not a missile shot. And, now that I'm actively accelerating towards base... they ripped a hole here. Because I turned, and that's what faced them. That's pretty repairable. So, as a consequence of all of my save scumming, I'm just going to leave the damage as is. In fact, I might be able to repair it now. Unless they just keep firing. Yeah, they might just keep firing. Because I don't see a lot of asteroids between me and Calico. How are they hitting, like... This isn't... I mean, maybe they're just better at math than me, obviously, being, like, an AI ship. But, to put it bluntly, like, I had a hard time trying to hit a ship that was, like, actively strafing. Because weapons aren't that accurate over that distance. And now they're just, like, pot-shotting me. So they got one of my decoy launchers, and then a little hole here. But they did miss my helium tank. The problem is... I would have to start over if I loaded again. So maybe I load one more time and just leave. I just bail. Because, unfortunately for me, that autosave is, like, worthless. It's, I kind of want to load that autosave one more time and see if I can't dodge the coils. Because if I can put an asteroid between me and them, they're not going to hit me. They're going to hit the asteroid cluster. I'm thinking about it. Maybe I'll have you guys decide. Should I load the latest autosave or the safe one? What if you guys just voted? And then I don't feel responsible for whatever the consequences. Walk without rhythm? Yeah, right. Yeah, 17th time's a charm, exactly. My ablative compartment strategy absolutely worked. Yes, they can't hit me because I'm in the center of my ship. It was a very smart design that I'm the hardest point within the ship to hit, and my my nav console is there with me, and my pressurized center section is... Because I never had a helmet on for that entire fight. So this is the safe load. And that's what's winning in the polls. So, let's do it. Let's play from here. I'm really disappointed in the GWN for not, like, lifting a finger on my behalf. Which feels... lame. Because it's like, I belong to your faction. I'm honored by your faction. How about you show me that? Oh, I don't want to hurt myself. Alright, we're turning and burning pretty hard now. Did I actually hurt myself there? I like how I have standings to myself. No. Okay. Sometimes when you accelerate too hard, you can, like, bump things, get hurt. I'm gonna mark the GWN as, like, neutral. No, I'll just do friendly. Okay, so you guys wanted the safe load, and I'll do that. If I had more bullets, I would honestly stay. And it looks like the... Wait, you're track warning me? Okay. I mean, eat my dust. Now, I do have to make sure I don't flame out my fusion reactor. It is possible to, like, burn hard enough that it turns off, which would be pretty bad. I am also low-key on a crash course with that asteroid right there. So I'm going to use my RCS thrusters to... Actually, you know what? I'm just going to angle differently. I'm going to angle a little lower. Because I don't have a lot of RCS gas and I want to save it for docking. Holy G's? Yeah, pulling about almost 4 G's. Well, except for when I, like, cycled all the way up to open. Turn and burn. Eat my dust, losers. I do low-key feel like I'm fleeing, but I'm reloading. Give me the benefit of the doubt. Alright, so I'm moving about 4 kilometers a second to Calico Station. I don't feel like I need to actively accelerate any more than that. And now I just have to make sure I'm not on a collision course with any asteroids. And to course adjust if I am. So I'm going to burn up a little bit. At this point, I could probably turn the safety on. That should be fine. Okay. I think I'll need to, once I pass this asteroid, burn downwards. Are you really trying to... They're really after me. That's fine. If they want to separate themselves out from the gunship, I will take the H0QU down. Oh, I'm going to miss. Okay, that's fine. Alright, you know what? I'm going to save right here. Want some? Because it looks like the smaller of the 2 gunships doesn't want to give up. And why should I if it doesn't? I don't think the larger of the 2, the 58, is in tow and following. I can't... Let me double check before I engage. I don't see them? I see them... I see radar signatures back at the beacon. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn. I'm going to use my reactor to kill cross velocity instead of nitrogen gas. Releasing the safety override. I'm going to go to orange threat level. Killing all that cross velocity. And then I'm gonna zero up on the bearings and just start firing on them. And again, I have 16 in the coils and 25 in the rails. $200, $100. Slowing down time so I can nail it. $9, 7, 6, 5, 4. Okay. Now, if I point straight at them... Oh, that was cross velocity. Sorry, that was cross velocity for the station. So that was wrong. I need to kill cross velocity for them. And then relative velocity slowing down time too, because I don't want to disable their ship and have them on a collision course with Ceres, because then I can't loot before I tether and slow them down. No point in blowing up a target that I am not going to be able to profit off of, because I am a mercenary. I am a privateer. If it ain't profit, well, there's some pride in it too, but if there ain't profit, why bother? Okay. Let's lower the maneuver. Square up at 0 for both cross velocity and bearing, and then take one across the bow. See if it connects. Alright, cross velocity going to 0. What's happening here is they're coming straight at me, essentially. Want to play a game of chicken? And then I'm going to, now that I'm like dead on staring at them, I'm going to start decelerating. So that, and I'm going to take 3 shots, I think. Just as a, you want some? I'm not running. I'm regrouping. Okay, so took my 3 shots. And the range between me and them is closing, because I'm decelerating quickly. Space kiting. Yep, pretty much. And they are not maneuvering. Their bearing is dead on, the cross velocity is dead on, and they don't seem to be maneuvering at all right now. They also only have one PDCS, 1 point defense system, so it's like, what are you even doing? Why did you chase me? Y'all need lessons? Alright, so the first shot missed, and I think it went over? It went right? Or left? Well, it depends on how you want to measure left and right. So it means that I need to lead, for whatever reason, bearing at 5, maybe? So I'm going to fire one more shot at bearing 05. That was kind of the sweet spot I established before. So I'll fire one at 05, fire one at 06. Still reloading. I'm on quarter speed, so I can do, like, you know, quick math and adjustments. So here's one at 05, and I'll do one at 07. Now, there is a little bit of drifting cross velocity, which means they might be accelerating. Oh, no, that would be me accelerating towards them, actually. Excuse me. I am the cause of that drift of cross velocity, not them. Because I'm actively moving. They were some close shots. Yeah. And I think my next set should connect. So I'll go at half speed. Oh, they're turning. Boom. Definitely just landed a good one. And another one. I'm going to fire coils now. I'm going to try to keep my cross velocity at around 0. And I'm going, like, no mercy, going to pepper them full of shot. Because if they want to chase me into Galfed territory, which I am absolutely within, they're going to die. Alright, so I have a big volley coming. I just released quite a hefty amount of shot at them. I hope it hits. That one was off. Trying to do some quick adjustments. I only have one left in the coils. God, these are just like grazing them. Alright, I'm going to do 03, bearing 03. There's another hit. And another hit. It'd be nice if the PDS survived. Yeah, the PDCS. I mean, if it doesn't, I'll buy one. I have the rep for it. Not a big deal. Alright, I'm on rails only. I have only 8 bullets left. And I have some shots in the air already. Well, not too many. 2. What I really want is to, like, knock out their nav or something so that they're a sitting duck. That's asking a lot. Alright, 5 more bullets. We'll see what I can do with them. Now, they're currently mooning me, and it might be because that's where their reactors are, or where, like, just a meat of their ship is to be able to mitigate some of the damage I'm doing. Trying to, like, protect their point defense that is in the front of their ship so they can use it aggressively, and if that is the case, I'm impressed with the level of AI that they would consider that to be a strategy worth employing. Enter the outerfire cone. I have the range advantage. No. They have like 1,000 more shots than me. I don't have any such advantage. The advantage I have right now is the fact that I can disable their ship from a distance, but that was my last bullet expended on them. I have no more ordnances at all, and they have a point defense cannon that could do me a lot of damage. So regardless of the fact that I like definitely peppered their ship full of shot, have to turn and burn back to Calico because I have nothing to fight them with. Unless I could board them. If they didn't have the point defense cannon, I would absolutely, without any hesitation, board and then just use my rifle. But, you know, that's not exactly a valid strategy at the moment. Oh my god, are you, okay, yeah, here we go. I thought they were, like, ballistically trying to collide with me or something. Alright, I am moving very fast in relation to Calico, so I'm gonna have to slow down a lot. They're like following me all the way in. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. This is absolutely nutty behavior. But now I'm on the like a suicide deceleration burn into Calico here. And they're like following me, which is just it's honestly nuts. What are you doing? You're about to be out of wake zone, you know. Really, guy? I mean, at least it will be easy to continue hunting him at the end of this. Because they've made no attempt to not die by my hand or whatever. Alright, so at this point, I need to, on nitrogen thrusters, slow down so I don't go smack in... And you know what? It looks like they're just going to die via Ceres. I don't really see a situation where they don't just crash and burn. I don't know how fast they're moving, but I did a suicide burn deceleration, and they didn't. It's also... They've been maneuvering, so I kind of don't believe that they have no... nav console, but like they're on a collision course. They're dead. They're dead. I killed their batteries or something, yeah. Bye-bye. So I only have 2.77 kilometers a second delta V left in the nitrogen tanks. But yeah, it seems fine. I'm taking a victory lap. That I'm gonna count that as another kill. Right? If you knock out a enemy craft's engines and they splash into a mountain, that's your kill. As far as I'm concerned. So, that was my kill. Yeah, maybe I took out their hydras or something. Yeah, good point. It looked like they had some sort of thrust or something, but like they didn't really have control of their ship. As far as I could tell, they were all over the place, going wild. So, it's too bad I don't get the loot, but yeah, whatever. It's a win. Okay, here we are coming into Calico. About 10 kilometers out. Yeah. Shush. Alright, we are within 5 kilometers. Docking, please. Ceres keeps an undefeated streak. Yeah, red streak, though. It's covered in blood. Blood of the enemies. Or something. Kapla. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts Fire in the Hold, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow astronauts.